it is different. The language, the culture, and they also have a big legacy. They were Grand Slam champions once before. In the days of Jarvis and the boys, they've had some incredible players come through their ranks. So
Do you think Rick Ross is a smart shopper?
bad press, good press, call it what you want. Usually that will shake up a change room, right? And the squad. But not when you've got LeBron James.
Not when you've got
and
the gold
guy,
James.
The Grootman there. And so for me, what was really satisfying was the huddle before the game.
I had a bet that they would score for less than 4.5 points in the first half, and he got that last ditch Superman try on the corner. It was quite unbelievable. Great acrobatics.
It's Vibes and Victories. It's VV plus a V because it's a Valentine's Day special. And so we brought us a little someone special. The pretty boy is back.
Hold on, man. Someone said Valentine's. Someone said Valentine's. The certified lover boy is back, man. We're back over here on Vibes and Victories, guys. What a time we're going to have. Today's episode is going to be super exciting. We've got so much to talk about. Isn't that right,
Yeah, it's amazing. What a weekend. I mean, sleepless nights.
Yeah.
Sleepless nights. Across the board. Can't wait to hash through it.
Yeah, man.
What's so nice about it is everything's on social media, chirps and everything. Just what a time to be alive, mate.
Yeah, and of course you guys know we're not alone. We've got the Sandman in the building all the way from Cape Town. He's tuning in and he's locked and loaded. Brody, how are you doing?
Hey, what's up, guys? Very different, sitting on the other side of the screen, but good to see the certified lover boy back in the house. Fudge, good to see you. And it's been a good stepper weekend all around, but I guess we'll get into that a bit later.
Yeah, man. Without wasting any more time, let's get straight into it with the retro
Results. Yeah. Yeah, take us through it, mate.
Liverpool losing to Plymouth. Oh my goodness. That was a shocker.
Yeah.
That was a shocker. They lost the score was 1-0, right?
Yeah, it's a bittersweet if you're an Arsenal supporter, but we'll get into that.
Oh yeah, man. Leeds.
Plymouth, not
Plymouth.
That's not Kotobe.
There's that Dale College English, man. Forgive me. Leeds also losing, man, at home, 2-0. That was a shocking result as well. City beating Leighton. Did I say that one right, Sam? Leighton.
Yeah, you are there.
There we go. Okay. They beat Leighton 2-1 and Newcastle beat Birmingham 3-2 in a cracker of a game there, yeah? What's your favorite results out of the three?
Yeah, look, mate, we're going to hash that out, but, City beating Leighton just 2-1, I think I like that. It's almost like, it's not really convincing.
Kind of expected more, yeah.
But it's like a win, but it's like a consolation sort of a win,
Sure.
You know what I mean? It's like when you get the last scone because it's sort of got a little bit of mold on it or something. Yeah, so in any case, mate, there was some La Liga as well.
What happened there, man?
1-1 draw in the Madrid derby.
Okay.
I don't know if we expected that one. I don't want to actually get into the sports Sangoma and his results because I know I owe money from the rugby. But also UFC was incredible. Barcelona beat Sevilla, just to touch on that in the La Liga, 4-1. Even though they had a red card. And then of course, clean sweep, 2+3 in the UFC. Dricus getting the better of Strickland, breaking his nose and telling him to turn it the right way during the fight. Yes, dude. You know what it is? And Strickland is he speaks a lot, so it's just so satisfying. And then of course Weili Zhang as well, the woman fighter. Boss lady, she cleaned up as well. A young Tatiana, the unbeaten Suarez. So yeah, that's amazing. And then Six Nations, that sort of turned up a notch.
Yeah.
Big one there with the Red Roses doing the business and snuck in with a classic win in the La Cranche over France.
Yeah.
That one's the last ditch. 26,
Yeah, it's
25.
unfortunate we didn't bring the Valentine's roses. Today would have been the English would have been on our side.
Hopefully that's not an indication of our plans. But in any case, let's swiftly moving on, mate.
No, my girl is coming back on Valentine's Day, so I better have my.
No, you don't need to explain.
my
Man.
ducks
You
in a
don't
row.
have roses, but you don't need to explain. Man. He has roses.
In
though.
this economy.
Next result, Six Nations was Ireland doing the business against Scotland. Ish. And you know, that means I owe someone money. The sports sangam, I'm glad he's not here today because he'd be all over me about that one.
You thought Scotland was winning that one?
I thought they'd end top 3. And England did something unexpected. I think we expected Scotland to do that over Ireland, but you know, we'll dive into that one. And then Italy chowed.
Is the writing on the wall there?
You know what? You know one thing. You speak of the Safas, right? Did you see Dwayne van der Merwe's try? Dwayne van der Merwe's try. Yeah, there you go. That's Superman thing.
I had a bet that they would score for less than 4.5 points in the first half, and he got that last ditch Superman try in the corner. It was quite unbelievable. Great acrobatics.
Awesome stuff. So I still think they're in it. We'll talk about how I think they're going to be in it. There's going to be a huge upset. Just you wait and see, mate. And then, of course, Italy chowing Wales.
Yeah, man. But not really a shocker.
No, I don't think it was a shocker.
We discussed Warren Gatland, bro. That dinosaur needs to go.
The problem is who goes in there. We were actually discussing it. Is it then Dwayne Peel? And remember the stat I told you was it last week about the guy who's lost 20 Azarati, I think 26 games on the trot for Wales and the Dragons. That's the problem. So where do you get someone to come in who can still speak to the culture and get the best out of the side? A lot to talk about there with Wales, but they are Dragons.
Yeah.
They are Dragons. Yeah. Not Game of Thrones, but
somebody needs to understand the culture that side.
Yeah, exactly. And it's
they're a bit lost at the moment.
It is different. You know, it is different. The language, the culture, and they also have a big legacy. You know, they were Grand Slam champions once before. In the days of Jarvis and the boys, they've had some incredible players come through their ranks. You know, so they're at an all-time low.
It's that NFL player leaving that since he left.
Louis Rees-Zammit.
Yeah,
hey.
It's been chow time.
Yeah, okay. Wales hasn't been that great, man, since
he hasn't been good in that side either. Apparently, it's not really going his way. He might be back.
Hardly ever does.
Yeah. Well, there's actually an Eagles player who did make that change. That's a great story.
British dude.
Yeah, that's a great story.
But we must chat on that later.
An Australian, actually. He's an Australian. First Australian ever, I think, to lift the Super Bowl. Anyways. And then, for me, my favorite retro result, mate.
Okay.
Hala. The men's hockey side. You know, first time ever on a podium, bronze medal at the World Indoor Championships, beating Belgium 6-5.
Belgium.
What a game as well. So just pride, the passion, it was fantastic to see, you know, for guys who haven't really had it their way in terms of support, in terms of the sport. So great for the globe.
That was beautiful, man. I won't lie. Also, very having played hockey and being in the system myself, I really know. Yeah, man.
You mentioned it now that there's a bronze medal around. Now you're a hockey player.
I used to, man. But like, I really understand like how emotional the gents were with that one. That was like a major win. With what you mentioned as well, with the lack of support, you know, that the gents always get. But like them showing up and showing out, because the talent has always been there. That's the thing. We've got extremely talented hockey players and guys that are dedicated to the sport.
Great school programs, man.
Yeah,
you know,
amazing,
great school programs. Amazing. So that's amazing. Out of the shadows and into the limelight.
Yeah.
Men's hockey team, congratulations to that. Yeah, so that's pretty much it for our retro results.
Yeah, man.
This weekend, did I miss anything there? I'm Sports Sangoma, Sinaye.
No, I think you got it all, eh?
Yeah, no, for me, for sure, the highlights have to be Dricus 2+3. We need to address Dana White and Gaten McKenzie about UFC Africa, and then first time on the podium for hockey men's.
Yeah, nice one.
Another game, good goal, 6-5 against the Belgians. You can't beat that. Doesn't get much better.
Yeah, it doesn't. And that brings us into the Fudge's flavors, the flavors of fudge.
What's going on? Talk to us.
Sour. This is your first one. Understanding a little bit of that. You're going to enjoy this though, mate.
I'm
Sweet,
excited.
Sour, and satisfying flavors. For me, I'll use the momentum. The sweet flavor for me this past weekend was definitely the men's hockey side. Cool. You know, it means a lot. If you're a South African and you see the pictures, it tells the story, and it's almost contagious, right? Yeah. Like you mentioned, not just because you're a hockey player, but I think you know. So that was for me very sweet. Congratulations to them. The sour. Did you see the Pick and Pay Rick Ross ad?
Your face even before you said it, I was so finished. There was
It
a,
was a
huh?
bit sour for me. I enjoyed it though. It was I
Very
loved it.
interesting.
It was interesting. It was sour. It was an interesting flavor there.
My thought on that one is that went through so many levels of approval, and they still thought this is gonna bang. They gonna love this one.
I mean, look, the management at Pick and Pay has also been known to be quite conservative. So hey, man, big ups getting Rick Ross on an ad like that. Come on now. So
Do you think Rick Ross is a smart shopper?
I think he enjoyed his time in South Africa so much so these guys were like, listen, he's in Cape Town, just get this guy in an ad immediately. We'll throw money at it.
Give him some chicken wings.
Give him some chicken wings, same time, right? Yeah. So that was the sour flavor for me. It was
Okay.
a little bit of a tricky one. Pick and Pay and Rick Ross, who would have ever thought in the world?
Not me.
Yeah, and then the satisfying flavors, man.
Talk to
This
me, bro.
past weekend it was Luka Doncic's first game for the Lakers. There's been so much being said about that one, a sport that is taken the world by storm, the NBA, and to see. To see him make that change with all of the PR and the bad press, good press, call it what you want. Usually that will shake up a change room, right? And the squad, but not when you've got LeBron James.
Not when you've got
and
the
my
gold
guy,
James,
the
man.
hot man there. And so for me, what was really satisfying was the huddle before the game. I think I'm not sure. I'm not sure now if I'm going to quote him correctly now, and please excuse me if I get it wrong. But LeBron James is basically in the huddle saying that, Luka, don't fit in. Don't fit in.
Yeah.
Fit the fuck out. Play your game. You know what I
That
mean?
was
And
beautiful,
I
man.
love that. And looking at how Luka's face lit up like a kid.
Yeah.
It's almost like LeBron has another son in the sun.
That's so true. And I mean,
uh,
what he did before the game, him warming up with Luka Doncic's jersey as well, that's him like
Satisfying.
really embracing him into the team.
So what an incredible man. Never mind an athlete. That's
Yeah,
LeBron
no.
James for you.
Yeah,
Someone who's
no.
achieved everything. He's played with his own son, and then still to have the humble, to understand what's needed. And it actually sparked the way he played as well. So that was extremely satisfying. So that's sweet, sour, and satisfying. The sweet one, men's hockey side. The sour one, the Rick Ross at Pick and Pay. And the satisfying one, LeBron with welcoming Luka Doncic, a player that might break his records.
He's young. Well on his way.
He's young, man.
He's well on his way.
He's young, mate, and he's with him there, but for him to sort of understand that the team comes first and how good it is for the team and how he needs to unlock the best of Luka, and he handled that beautifully, man.
Yeah,
that's an icon right there. So that was extremely satisfying.
Yeah.
Straight into the boys' banter. There's so much to banter
Sandman's
about. I see
favorite
we're
part.
already sort of chewing at the bit there in the retro results. But boys' banter, Scousers. This is what I was talking about it's a little bit bittersweet. Scousers out of the FA Cup.
Oh, wow.
But I wanted them to stay there. I don't know.
Why?
I feel it was strategic. There's no ways they lose to a side that's being relegated.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys, I guess maybe one of them stay there so they play more football. So we get a better chance at them. Maybe they tire out come March, April. And maybe that gives us a better shot. But it was nothing more satisfying than sitting at the local students' joint at Forries in the southern suburbs and watching these old geezers that are literally from Liverpool settled in South Africa shouting at the screen and then losing to a side that's going to get relegated from the championship into the first division. It was so satisfying. I don't think I've screamed that much at anything this week so far. Not even at the Dricus fight, because Dricus obviously cleaned up Strickland quite easily on Sunday. But yeah, that was satisfying just to see them lose, and maybe, who knows, losing can become contagious. So let's see what happens this weekend in the Premier League. Who knows, they could go back to back with dropping points, and that could help us with our run,
Yeah, basically the head coach saying now we are both out. Let's go toe to toe, buddy. And nobody got distractions. So we'll see how it goes. The race has just intensified in the EPL. Another incredible result was England coming right in Le Crunch against France.
Yeah, man. We recently just touched on
You
that
lost
now.
some money there, Sports Sangoma, in fact. I think a lot of people might have lost some money there. Having an up-and-coming fly-off that no one saw coming.
Yeah.
Finn Smith, Russell Smith?
Smith. Yeah.
Not Marcus Smith. Marcus Smith was a fullback, but the fly-off. So that was,
No one saw that coming.
no one saw it coming. It was a hard-fought victory. They went toe-to-toe with them. One thing I will say about the English Premiership, what I saw with the Northampton Saints when they came and played the Bulls, they went they were playing bully rugby, mate. Look at that loose trio, the pack. They don't shy away, and they kind of hit France with their own medicine. Very aggressive at the breakdown, didn't shy away, which allowed them to stay in the game. Also, they knew that the mistakes they make, if they can be just as aggressive, that means the French are probably more likely to make similar mistakes, and then it just becomes who can capitalize. And the game could have gone either way. I don't think it was a clean win, but it was a good one.
I mean, watching that game, I won't lie, man, with this bully ball thing that you're speaking about even, it looked like they took a small page from this great nation.
Yeah, who's not taking a small page from
it goes back to what, like, us being one of the greatest sporting nations at this point in time, man.
Let's hope we can stay ahead of the curve with that. You know, it's going to be so interesting. The rugby coming up, and also watching the Six Nations unfold week in and week out. I think a big one as well is going to be England, Scotland. How that's going to turn out. But in any case, Dricus.
Yeah, man. What a fight that was, eh? You know what? Watching this fight, I understood what a lot of MMA fighters and like UFC fighters say when he's got an unorthodox fighting style, and it works out for him every time. Like they never see him coming.
Yeah, sorry, Sinaye. I'll say it just reminds me, like you're saying about the unorthodox style, what Dana White said. He fights like a white guy dances. Really knows how to pin him down. He's got an all-round game. And he just seems to be getting better and better. I think he's a lot better than Strickland 1 to Strickland 2. And now he's, as he announced in the ring afterwards, he's pound for pound the top 3 in the world. So let's see what's next. Makamedov, and then on to Alex Pereira. And he must go up in weight class to do the Alex Pereira fight, so that Alex Pereira doesn't have an excuse in terms of having to cut weight. So that's what we've got to look forward to in the next, I'll say, 12 months.
Yeah, mate.
Tired, and let's hope we can get those 2 fights done in the next 12 months.
Look, you know what?
Hopefully in the next 2 months, a UFC Africa.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Sports Sangoma. Actually, Hamzat, Himev, apparently they might be at fight week in June. They might be fighting each other. And that's going to be insane.
Where's that going to be? Dubai, okay.
So that's going to be insane. The other thing is, speaking about it being unorthodox, mate, I think that is one of the best places to understand what we have in this country that is sort of gives us an edge in the sporting arenas. Regardless of the sport, is the attitude, mate. It's an attitude thing. A lot of fighters that fight him say that when you hit him, he almost wants to respond harder. You know what I'm saying? So when you hit him and you expect someone to move 2 steps back, you're hitting him when he's coming forward and he's swinging as well. You know, so it's an attitude thing. I saw it with the Springboks. It's difficult to put a pin on it, but if you want to understand South Africans and what competing and what being proud means, watch how 2+3 does his thing over there, man.
You know, you mentioning that, I'm sorry, this might be a bit off, right? But it just made me think of, like, with South Africa, what's going on right now. Did we not touch on Nohamba moving to Japan?
Hey,
can we just a little bit on that one?
It's boys banter, mate. You're allowed to.
Well, what do you think of that move?
No, well played.
I'm happy for him on that one.
There will always be, you know, this is professional sport in a country that is spilling over. You know, the cup is spilling over with talent, and so your moment it's shifting.
Yeah.
Never mind how small it is. It's shifting all the time. And when Sanele Nohamba was Vodacom URC Player of the Year, South African Player of the Year, he had a concussion in his last game. And I remember thinking to myself, damn it, that just makes the selector's decision so much easier now. Because Krappies, Morne van der Berg, who was playing at number 9, that now all of a sudden they had the decisions easy. Do we now try to convince Sanele to go back to being a number 9, which he's very comfortable at? But even though he played the season and was the best player in South Africa, fly off pretty much. But they were able to give Krappies an opportunity. He took the opportunity, and then, hey, mate, the ship has left the harbor. You know, so he didn't make it onto that boat, and he's been on fire. He's been too hot. He's been too hot not to be making money and not to be having opportunities. So for me, I think everyone wins. It's a pity that I think the only losers here are the fans, South African fans.
True, that's true.
You know, that's it. We're just not going to see, you know, an absolute baller shaking and baking like he usually does. So we lose. But I think I don't think no foul play. It's like a Siamasuku, you know, how after a season like that you not have a go at it. But then you look at Jordan Hendrickson, you look at the building of it, you know, being part of the Springbok squad right now is very difficult. But one thing you must understand about rugby, there are always injuries, mate. Sure. And so I believe Sanele Nohamba is going to be able to be consistent and very professional in a country that might actually tweak him and allow him to reach even new heights. So big out, shout outs to Sanele Nohamba, all the best in Japan, bud.
Yeah, I can't wait.
You know?
You guys seem to know him a lot better than me, but with the name Sanele, he must be a legend.
From the Eastern Cape and Alice. A great journey.
Man. I mean, he used to be a Dalian as well. Let me just say this again. It just happens.
Man, why don't you just put
I can't even control this.
You know, this guy. But look. Shout outs to Dale as well. You know, we touch on it every bloody show because of Sinaye. You know, but shout out to Dale. You know, it's fantastic to see some of their old boys doing the most and the men that they've been able to become. You know.
Yeah, man.
So that's very positive. I'm not going to talk about Scotland being in the bottom half, and I mean, Sports Sangoma is even saying I need to start doing like a pay-as-you-go, 100 rand a week, just to cover my 5 clipper in Valentine's.
Bet now.
Bet now, and I'll just give you a 20% discount.
Okay. Oh yeah. Yeah. Look at that. He's good, huh? No, mate. I think there's still hope. I think there's still hope. I think there's something. I think there might be another upset coming up. I don't know.
So the world be if you don't hold on to hope.
Right. I'm also I love an underdog. So here we go. You know. So sorry, mate. Thanks for the offer, but I'll see you next
pass
time.
on this one.
Who is Scotland upsetting?
They've got France and England left, right? I think they might do something there at England.
I agree.
You think in England?
I think
England is possible. Yeah,
I think they might do something there.
I think the French just got caught out this weekend, but they're playing phenomenal rugby in the moment. You know.
Yeah, no, exactly. You know, and I think they played their best game. You know how that thing works in World Cups. You see it as well, right? England playing their best game and then coming up against us, we couldn't match them. Similar to us in a few World Cups back, we played a huge semi-final, weren't able to do it in the final. So. Yeah, I think Scotland will be aiming for that one, and I think they believe they could get a result there. They've also been resting Finn Russell.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know if you saw Finn Russell juggling tennis rackets and things. Listen, bro, the boy is ready.
I'm scared,
the boy is ready.
I'm scared.
That's a big one, and it's lining up to be a nice, juicy one. Actually, it's opened up in the Six Nations now. All of a sudden, with the Red Roses getting the better of Le Bleu. And then, I think for me, the Doncic. Luka with LeBron at the LA Lakers, you know, just before let's touch on that just before we touch on the huge moment, which was the Super Bowl this past weekend. But I think, hey man, what's happening there at the Lakers is gonna be something big.
Yeah,
I think LeBron James. I saw LeBron James having fun.
He had so much fun.
He was having fun.
He had a swagger.
Luka didn't look like it was his first game. He was setting people up with assists, nice assists.
But for me, he
when
looked
you're starting to throw it around and you're giggling and stuff. That's what it looked like.
He looked like he was not even trying too hard. Like he was just having fun. Luka as well. Like,
could he be the answer, mate? Because they're not looking too good. They're fourth, I believe, in their conference.
They've won 6 straight games.
Okay.
6 straight games, and they're looking much better than what they were. My only concern with them is this: their defense is terrible. They don't have a big. Remember they were going to do that with that whole trade of Dalton Connect, getting Williams over, but then that wasn't able to happen because of I'm not sure what the reason was. So that trade was actually rescinded. I've never heard of that, of a trade being like, I don't know how Dalton is going to ball out knowing that these guys wanted to trade me.
You know what they're going to do? They're going to have that whole thing with that Black Mamba mentality. You know what I mean? So. That team mentality. I'm telling you, I think I see like a domino effect of people starting to play beyond just themselves, but actually play for the team. And so so you'll find people doing a few extras here and there, and that might just tick the box of defense. That's my.
Well, I mean, they've just lost AD, so it's a big hole, bro.
Yeah, defense wise. But I mean, Maxi's been trying there. You know, he's been trying to step up because he's like the biggest player we've got right now. So we'll see. We'll see.
There's a lot
man.
to see, man. A lot to look forward to. Gee, people are going to be watching those games just because, when you've got it's becoming the Galacticos, man.
Yeah.
Jeepers. Everyone loves watching the Galacticos, bro. Yo, my God. So, yeah, that's NBA, but
Super Bowl.
Ooh-wee.
Biggest the what?
Dun, dun, dun.
Guys, I don't want to speak too much on that one. Hey, hey.
Yeah, look.
Certified lover boy.
Hey, what an amazing,
I can bet you Sinaye's top 10 songs on his playlist, probably 8 of them are tracked.
Yeah, well, probably all 10 I'll take.
Yeah, but now you have to put your
He's a
volume
big Drake
down
fan.
in
He
your
is a
car.
big Drake fan.
You can't be playing Drake too loud at the moment.
Yo,
Oh,
that
Serena
man.
on the X. Serena on the X.
Walk.
Ooh.
SZA singing there.
Just a bunch of X's. It was the battle of the X's.
He went in, and it's
You should look into all the subliminal messages.
yes, the Easter eggs.
Earl Jackson beating Uncle Sam and his interjections of the performance, the PlayStation reference.
Oh,
American is being torn apart, which means that the country is divided.
yeah.
A lot of subliminal messages. You've got to watch it about 10 times over to really get what he was actually doing. It's world class, and he's on the next level when it comes to his craft.
Yeah.
No one does it like he does it. I think you literally need to watch it and analyze it more than 10 times to actually get all the messages in what he was doing on that halftime show.
Except for the one message when he said, "Hey Drake," and started smiling like
That
an
was so
evil
evil.
genius, bro.
That was so evil. No,
And you saw that diamond crusted A minor.
Hey, yeah, what an artist. What an artist.
no,
I
and
mean,
as much as it pains me, I have to admit, that was a beautiful performance.
one of
man.
the biggest modern day artists we have right now. I know
Yeah.
people are talking a lot about the creativity of Kanye, but I think in terms of execution
Yeah,
and
no,
being
that
able
was-
to still push the boundaries, but make it digestible, because that's the key, right?
Yeah.
If no one's drinking the Kool-Aid, then what exactly are you doing?
Yeah.
And I think for him to be able to pull that off and still say exactly what he needs to say, yay! Come
That
on,
was-
on the greatest stage of them all. Yeah, that's genius,
And
man.
even the intro that they like to sue us.
Yeah, I was like, this guy. What's.
Reference of the 40 acres.
Hey, this guy.
And that America was built off the back of slaves. Even the way he did it with the dancers and everything, all did in black, and him standing,
It was so smooth.
That guy,
But the game was also next level by Jalen Hurts.
Jalen Hurts.
no, shout out Jalen.
3 beats in its tracks. First quarter.
Yeah.
In its tracks, mate. In its tracks. I think that was a bit disappointing, wasn't it? It wasn't
Him and
really
Barkley
like-
were having a crazy first quarter,
They
bro.
were ready for it.
Nah,
they came out fine.
they
came
wanted
out
it. They wanted it.
crazy, huh?
They wanted it.
They deserved it as well, which I think was really, really fantastic.
Yeah.
So, hey, that's a big one, man. Shout outs to Serena as well, man, with the crip walk thing.
Yeah.
Last time we saw her do that was in one of her tennis games. So it was beautiful to see her.
I think she was told not to do that or something. But there was something bad that
There was
happened
some controversy
that.
around
She was
it,
told
yeah.
to stop it or something like that.
I think around 2011, and she actually got a fine for that.
It was
She
beautiful
got a
seeing her
fine.
doing
She
it.
got a
you know.
fine. So, yeah, just, hey, man, it's beautiful. Look, I mean,
Do you guys think Drake made it to the end of the Super Bowl? You think he watched the whole
he
thing?
was playing a game of basketball in his basement, man.
Was he?
Yeah, what do you mean, bro? He was putting setups there. Putting up, hey, bro. Come on.
Aye.
It wasn't good. It was not good, Jay.
Yeah, I guess Kendrick also said he's not like us, and then told him to turn the TV off immediately after that. So there's no way he made it to the end of the
Look, I will say this, and I touched on it. Life has a funny way, right, of just taking you on a different route. Because who knows where that highway was going? And if you think about it, that highway Drake was on, was he even on planet Earth anymore?
Aye.
I feel like it was
He was
just a matter
untouchable.
of time until something bad was going to happen. So maybe
You
just
have
a
to be
little-
humbled, man.
not to say he's not a fantastic artist, not to say that he hasn't achieved things that 99.99999
Won't be ever be able to achieve.
Ever achieve except for Kendrick Lamar. But
Oh my
yeah, but yeah. So yeah, that was just a special situation. Like some people are speaking about, also the controversies with Dricus and the PR afterwards and what's going on with Donald Trump and all of that. And then we'll need a full episode show.
Yeah,
to
there's a
go
lot of
through
that
all of
one,
that.
yeah.
You know what I mean? But Safa's currently, in terms of sport, we're reaching new heights.
Yeah.
I mean, in sprinting, we're there. Takani Simbine. Thank goodness the Botswana youngster Tebogo as well.
Oh,
doing,
yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah,
It's just sort of allowing us to have that healthy competition close by. The hockey podium for the first time ever.
Yeah,
We've
man.
made finals in the women's and men's game in cricket. It's where we Bender
World
in the
class.
MotoGP recently was on podiums as well. So yeah, we're world class right now, man. Are we not the best sporting nation? Can we ask that?
It's debatable. You can't ask that question and people are gonna laugh at you now. Now you can actually ask that question as a serious one. Like,
Yeah, funny when you raised that 60,000 backwards. I did actually have that kind of conversation with our last guest from the UK, Tom Kotobe, and he did send kind of let us know his opinion on his calls and lack of calls last week.
And also on that question right there, and we obviously will hear from them in a bit.
awesome, man. I can't wait for that.
Hi guys, yeah, so good weekend of rugby, 3 fantastic games to watch. Our nap of the weekend, Italy did the business, -6.5 against Wales. Wales looked all at sea, Italy looking good again, and yeah, that was never really in doubt. A late Wales try, but nothing really to worry about there. Poor Warren Gatland is going to struggle to get a win with these guys in the rest of their games. I think some big games, tough games coming up. So his future looks in a bit of doubt. And then our second game, good win for England. Finally managed to pull it together in the last 20 minutes and actually close the game out or win a game in the last 20 minutes. Been very unlucky against all the top tier nations in the last 7 or 8 matches, going down by a few points here and there. I thought France, who we tipped -6.5, they didn't look good in the first half. I think they had 21 handling errors in the whole game, and I think the 11 of those in the first half were all pretty much try-scoring opportunities. Dropping the ball, and Peno dropping the ball. Those guys just don't normally drop the ball, to put it bluntly. And yeah, I mean, I think France really should have put that game to bed early on, but they didn't, and England hung in there and got the win. So yeah, we didn't land the money there, unfortunately. And then our third game, we tipped Ireland -6.5. I thought they really looked back on it. Obviously, there were a few injuries in the first 20-30 minutes for Scotland. A few HIAs, which Finn Russell, Darcy Graham, and then Ireland took advantage of those opportunities for the 10-20 minutes. And yeah, they looked good, and a bit of fight back from Scotland in the end of the second half, but yeah, it was never really in doubt for Ireland. And yeah, exciting to see. Listen, some big matches coming up. Weekend off this weekend. We've got some really big games like France, Ireland, and England, Scotland. They're going to be exciting to watch, and it'll be interesting to see what the injury news is over the next 10 days to see where we go for our next elections. Just a little note as well on South African sport at the minute, heavily reliant on the rugby and the cricket over the last 10-15 years, but it's great to see guys like Dricus, coming through and in different sports. The SA hockey's looking great as well. Obviously got the Test Championship final at Lords in June as well, which is going to be a really good spectacle. Nice to have it in a neutral venue. Even better that there's a reserve day as well, just in case of rain, which is nearly always an issue in the UK. The SA Under-19 women's cricket. That was a great match to watch. Not as competitive as you like, but it was pretty decisive. So yeah, a lot to look forward for South African sport as well. The swimmers, young tennis players coming through. It's exciting times, and it's great to see the investment in the schools. Obviously, I follow a lot of the schools rugby and the schools cricket, and yeah, some real powerhouse schools and it's not all sort of one-sided stuff. You know, some of these the smaller schools, so to speak, from the last 20 years, really bringing some good sporting teams to the fore and competing at the top level with the more established schools. So exciting, and obviously that outlet for South African rugby players, certainly in the top 14 in France, I think has really had a positive effect on the mentality of certainly the rugby players in South Africa, the young rugby players seeing the opportunities, and players moving abroad, freeing up space in those bigger squads of the Cheetahs, the Sharks, Stormers, that sort of stuff in the different competitions, which is great to see. So yeah, guys, looking forward to having a chat about that as well.
I'm just going to shoot through a couple of those selections for this weekend.
Sangoma 6, hit us.
Yeah, so I'm going to go for 2 teams to win by 2 goals or more. Liverpool should beat Wolves, 2 goals or more, 6-10. And I'm going to go with Sundown, also the Nedbank Cup this weekend, to win by 2 goals or more. And then just to change it up a bit, we're going to get into Inter Milan. I'm playing away to Juventus with nice saucy price from 13%. I'm going to say chuck that into some of your multiples or take it alone if you've got a big packet. And then Rangers in the Scottish Premiership to beat Hearts at home. 6-10 is quite a good price on Rangers. They, they religiously are the bridesmaids, but they usually get the job done. And Fudge, this weekend, like the Super Rugby is back on our screen.
Hey!
And missing being a part of it. So there's some big games there. There's the New Zealand Derby, Blues versus Chiefs. I'll take Blues at home at 5-10. And then Waratahs versus Highlanders, 4-10.
That's a good one.
Highlanders didn't look that hot last year. So yeah, so that's my Sangoma 6 for this weekend. What are your thoughts on those calls, and what are your thoughts on the return of Super Rugby this weekend?
So my thoughts on your calls is I agree, full stop, because I've been proven wrong enough times now, and I'm bleeding money, mate. So yes, thank you, Sports Sangoma. I was actually writing all of those things down. I took my notes. Sharp data. Thank you very much. Totally agree. Pacific Moana. Tana Umanga, my favorite players of all time. I've been following them a little bit. And Adi Savea, this first game as the captain. Goosebumps speeches were being given. You take a look at what they're doing on the training pitch and stuff. I'm telling you, mate, look out for Pacific Moana and this year's Super Rugby. The Blues have got their own ideas. They're also on flying super high. But it will be interesting. I think it's actually quite exciting to compare that side of the world to what's happening up north, and to compare them with how we're sort of performing as well. So it's always exciting. Looking forward to that one.
That should be part of Moana Pacifica is actually playing away to Western Force, and they're going at 3-1. If you want to take a little dip at that fight, pay off quite good. Adi Savea is obviously going to come with the thunder. He said in that speech on the change room, basically, guys, as much as I'm the leader, I'm not going to talk too much. I'm just going to do the business on the field. So let's see what they can conjure up this weekend on Saturday at around lunchtime.
Yeah, Moana Pacifica. I think I got that wrong, but yeah, Moana Pacifica. Adi Savea, watch out. I'm betting on them as well, actually. I think a lot of people will be. A lot of people back Adi.
Yeah,
there's something about a player who does it on the pitch, doesn't speak too much. Like a Sadio Mane.
Hey, you're dangerous, man. I think now it's time we get into the final part of the show.
The weekend wonders, mate.
What's happening this weekend, man? What's happening this weekend?
So yeah, we touched on quite a few of those things actually already. I think Super Rugby is going to be an exciting one. Six Nations is a big one as well coming up, especially after England with that upset. Everyone will be watching. France, Wales. What do they have up their sleeve? Do they have something? They have something.
No Six Nations this weekend. They're taking a gap. So it's
yes.
URC is happening this weekend. That should be quite good. There's the Bulls versus Sharks coming up this weekend. A nice little derby.
Big derby.
And there's a Lions versus Stormers derby this weekend. Those should be part of the highlights for the weekend. And then obviously the return of English Premier League. That's always nice.
Yes. What's your take on the Bulls versus Sharks game?
Yeah, look, it's a exciting one. I think the Bulls, 7th time lucky. Jake White was saying, hey, man, maybe 7's my lucky number, beating the Stormers. And that was a huge derby. I'm loving the derbies, loving the competition. Guys really going for it. And, with the injuries at the Sharks, Etzebeth being out.
Fassi is out.
I don't know. Siya Kolisi is really enjoying himself in a lot of different countries and stuff, So, hey, I don't know if he's got that grunt, but look, you can never. They've still got the Bongis, etc. So, in the squad. So, look, I think the Bulls once the stampede starts coming, mate. As long as Cameron Hanekom's not injured.
Okay.
Good luck to the oppositions, Good luck to the opposition. So I'm backing the Vodacom Bulls, not because my blood is blue. Not because my blood is blue, but
sure.
They just come off of a huge win, And I think that Lions Stormers as well is going to be big, massive game as well there,
Tshabalala is in the mix.
I reckon maybe both teams at home should take it. I agree with you that fight. I think Lions takes all at home, and I think Bulls to take the Sharks at home. And then when it comes to English Premiership, the big games for the weekend, I think it's Newcastle against Man City, and then on Sunday, I think it's, if I'm not mistaken, it's Tottenham at home to Man United. So those should be the stops to look out for the entertainment this weekend.
On Sunday, Spurs versus Manchester United. I think that's going to be the biggest game of the weekend.
No, man, come on. Man.
Yeah.
Sure. Oh, you're going there now, man. Again.
Tradition. Just think of tradition and for the love of the game. It's going to be a big game, bro.
You're not wrong, man.
Okay,
I know. So right, man.
I mean, we both know they nowhere near.
No, you're right.
For the
You're
top
right,
four.
and it becomes a little bit of like a bit of a scrappy. It becomes a fight. Very entertaining games. Yeah, everything to play for. When you're playing for pride, man.
Yeah,
That's when funny things start happening, right?
I think those are the highlights for the weekend. I'm obviously on the move again as per usual. It doesn't stop. I think I need a bit of a break. On my way to Durban tonight. This weekend, my weekend walkabout will be hopefully playing a round of golf at Durban Country Club, which has gone private in the last year, and they're hosting the SA Open, I think it is, in a couple of weeks there. The SA Open is on the European BP Tour Golf. So that golf course closes next week, so I'll be playing a game with a business partner friend of mine and a good friend of mine, the chairman of the Durban Country Club, Mr. Ildos Shirts, and the chairman of Standard Bank of Durban. He is going to take us on a round before they close the course next week, so that should be quite nice. I'll have him get a shout out to Vibes Victories for us. The host of the SA Open. And then I'll be watching a bit more schools cricket. There's a T20 all the big schools, Hilton, Lakalos, Northwood, Guernsey, Mariford College, T20 cricket tournaments in and around Durban. So that's me for the weekend. Sinaye,
nice one.
you guys up to?
Yeah, weekend walkabouts. I missed one or two nice ones there. I'm looking forward to the Bulls Daisies. They had an incredible performance against the Boland Damas this past weekend. One of the best rugby games I've watched. Their head coach Hayden Groupie, who I played with back in the day. He's just humbled, to see him emotional after seeing what these ladies are able to do was great. So looking forward to maybe catching a little bit of that. But it is also the Varsity Cup starting this weekend. The Varsity Shield on Friday. And then the Varsity Cup next week. So that's always exciting. So, yeah, it's always great to see the youth, strutting their stuff. It's also very exuberant. It's exciting. There are a couple of innovations. I mean, there's mascots for every team. There's a new mascot coming as well. Enzo Kuhle. So, yeah, it'll be exciting. I'm looking forward to it. Most of all, Sol Plaatje qualified for the Varsity Shield for the first time ever. So I'll be out in Kimberley on Friday to see how they play their first game ever in the Varsity Shield. I just love those kinds of stories. Varsity College did it a couple of years back. Now it's Sol Plaatje's turn. What do they have there in Kimberley? It'll be at Griqua Stadium as well. So what an opportunity for guys who maybe have never played a TV game before in their lives. So that's what I'm looking forward to. I'll be in Kimberley. Yep, in Kimberley.
Story for you about Salt Liking, but I'll have to take that offline.
Yeah, okay. Okay, cool. Well, steak dinner, mate. You still owe us the steak dinner, by the way, yeah?
Yes, Fudge.
It's coming up. It's coming up soon. But yeah, so
He's avoiding Joburg now.
yeah, and thank goodness you're avoiding Joburg as well, mate. Otherwise, my pockets would be empty, bruh. But I'm on your side now, so my pockets will be full, and that pretty much is it for the VVV Vibes and Victories, the Valentine's Day special. The Sports Sangoma, Sanele, thanks so much for joining us all the way from Cape Town, mate. Enjoy it. You're glowing. I don't know. It's treating you well. What do we said? It's the mimosas. I don't know. Sinaye, what do we say with this?
Yeah. No, it's definitely the Cape Town glow, man. He's having a good time. He looks good. And of course, you guys know we always have a good time over here at Vibes and Victories. We will see you guys same time, same place next week. Before I forget, do not forget to like, share, and subscribe. Because guys, Vibes and Victories is where it's at.
VV.